Hi, welcome to Quilting with Lori. My name is Lori Dickman. Today we have another great project for you. There is a free PDF below in the description box, and this is it. It's the Alabama Magic Circle quilt. And this is an extension of a quilt that we did just a couple weeks ago. Maybe it was the beginning of last week. I'll link all of this below for you. But this was the block that we learned. It's the Magic Circle block. We learned that and made a nice scrappy quilt. In fact, here is the scrappy one that I put together, all from my scrap stash. A fun little block, used up a lot of our stash. Now I'm going to share that same quilt with you, but we're going to add another block. That's why I'm calling it my Two's Company series. Every time I create a new quilt, I like to use more than one blocks, and it really does help to create an interesting quilt design. So let's take a look at this. For this particular quilt, you can use nothing but scraps and just really have fun using up your scrap stash. But what I am doing, I have a lot of batiks. I don't know about you, but there's some fabrics that I save, and I don't know why I save them. I need to be using them. And so I decided I'm going to dive into my batiks, and I grabbed some fabrics that I'm going to use for this quilt. So here was my Magic Circle block that I used a number of batiks. And I think my little tiny dark blue here, they're really not as dark as I would have liked them. I think I should have gone with a darker blue, but that's all right. That's what I did. So that's the Magic Circle block. And then the other block we're going to be working on today is the Alabama variation. Really a simple one. So simple. Now, you could absolutely go to your stash and use your scraps to create this Alabama variation, as well as the Magic Circle. I am using a light strip, 2.5-inch strips. I'm using some medium 2.5-inch strips, and I'm using a 4.5-inch square for the center of this Alabama variation log cabin. So there we go. We have the 4.5-inch in the center, and all of these are strips that are 2.5 inches wide, and these are 2.5 inches squares. And I'm just using a strip from my stash, and I'll cut that. And so every block will probably have the same or similar fabrics in it in my scrappy version. But for my batik, I'm actually going to create this for a challenge. So I'm using all of these batiks, and I'm going to put this quilt together. Let me show you how it's done. Before we go down to the tabletop here, I wanted just to give you a close-up of the quilt. This is the version that I'm making. You can absolutely make this so much larger. There are 5 Magic Circle blocks and 4 of the Alabama log cabin variation blocks. So that's what I'm putting together. It's going to be a 46 by 46-inch quilt using those 2 blocks. And of course, you can make as many blocks of each of those as you'd like and make this quilt much, much larger. It can be a lap quilt. It can be a queen-size quilt. It could even be a king-size quilt, depending on how much scraps you want to use to create these 2 blocks. All right, I'm at the tabletop here. I've got a couple of each of these blocks already completed for my quilt. And I wanted to share with you how you can put them together using strips of your fabric. So first of all, let me pull last week's block up here. So this was last week's block, and the way we put it together, and I'm not going to demonstrate this one again this week because I have another video that I'll link below, and it'll show you how to make this. But these are 3.5-inch squares in the corner. All of these are 1.5-inch squares, and you're going to snowball these squares, and you're going to snowball the center square. The center square is 6.5 inches, and these are 3.5 by 6.5-inch rectangles, and that makes this beautiful Magic Circle block. So that is what is required for that. And again, I'll have all of it linked below. Today, what we're going to show you is this very simple Alabama Magic block that you can use with it. And again, I'm using batiks. These mediums and these lights, they're very similar. I wish now that I would have cut out or found a very white batik, but I didn't have a very white batik, so I'm using this. And it'll be fine. It just doesn't pop as much. So I do recommend, as you're pulling your fabrics, to make sure that your light squares here are nice and light, or that your medium squares are more of a darker medium, I guess. And this is a nice dark for it. So we're going to put it together, a very simple block. You can also use your scrap stash So here would be a 4.5-inch square that I grabbed from my stash. Here are some 4-inch lavender rectangles. These are all 2.5-inch wide with the fabric strips, and I subcut them to 4.5 inches. These are 2.5-inch squares, so I can simply go to my stash here, grab some nice white strips, and we will subcut some of these that we're going to need. There we go. And let's do some more. And you, of course, could go to your 2.5-inch square container for these, or to your 2.5-inch strip container. Whatever you have, just go ahead and use it. I love to use what I have. So there is this part. And then, of course, we need to cut these. They're medium, and they're going to be 2.5 by 8.5. So let me cut some of those. There is one here, and as you can see, I'm using a stash, so it doesn't necessarily match, but it's the same value and hue. Or maybe you'd like yours to be really scrappy. So there will be a scrappy block that I'll put together, and this is that variation, the Alabama log cabin variation. And when we start putting this together, you're simply going to put these side rectangles to the center. Then you're going to sew this rectangle with two squares on each end, and sew that to the center. Then you'll sew these 8.5-inch rectangles onto that center unit. Then again, you'll add these two white squares on each end of these rectangles, and then add those on each side. Very simple block. Let me put one together and I'll show you it. I have completed by putting the 4.5-inch center with the 4.5-inch rectangles. I've also done the rectangles with the 2.5-inch squares on each end. And I do that in assembly line or chain piecing fashion. Now this is ready. Make sure it's centered in the screen for you here. Now these are ready to be put on this centerpiece. So let me go ahead and sew those using a scant 1/4 inch seam allowance all the way around. I am pressing toward the lavender rectangles here, and again pressing toward the lavender rectangles. That's how I am pressing. And right now I've just finger pressed. I'll take this to the iron here in a second. All right, so I have finished the center here of this block. So I did add these strips that had the little squares on them, and then I put the 8.5-inch rectangles on the sides. And now I've gone ahead and I've sewn the white squares to each end of the last two 8.5-inch rectangles. And then I am going to attach them just like this, and the block is done. Very simple block. This is a really great one to really use up your scrap stash. I do want to point out to those of you who may not have a scrap stash cut, sorted, organized, and ready to use to make beautiful quilts, I do have a Speedy Solutions Techniques book and a corresponding patterns book. This teaches you everything you need to know to get your scrap stash cut, sorted, organized, stored, and ready to use. And there's 5 patterns in here, an additional 12 patterns here. And there are YouTube videos on all of these, so you can see how they're all made. There's also a video that is an overview of what's in this book, and I'll link all of that below. Definitely check out that video, if nothing else. It will really help you get your scrap stash ready to use. I finished the blocks, and I've got them laying here on the floor. So I have 5 of the Magic Circle blocks and 4 of the Alabama log cabin variation. And then I am going to put the dark blue and the medium blue borders on. I may put another dark blue on the outside. We'll see. The pattern calls for it, but I'm not sure yet what I'll do. I really do love how it turned out. Love the fact that I've got the batiks being used in this quilt, and I'm very happy with it. So let me go ahead and get this sewn together, and I'll show you the finished quilt. Here is the quilt. I have it all pieced together. I put the dark inside border and then the batik outside border. I don't know that I'm going to add the additional dark border or not. I might just bind it, probably using that same beautiful blue batik instead of the dark blue. But who knows? By the time I get to the point where I'm quilting it, I might change my mind. So as you can see, there's actually secondary designs that pop out in this quilt. So whenever you're using two different blocks, I love to just study the quilts and see the different designs that pop out at you. And I'm seeing a couple of different designs there. It's a lot of fun. I hope you'll try this quilt. Don't forget the PDF is in the description box below, along with the videos for the previous blocks, so you'll know how to make both of these blocks for this quilt. And if you have any questions about the quilt itself, don't hesitate to email me via my website or just comment here in the YouTube channel. Please don't forget to like and subscribe and leave a comment. I love reading the comments from all of my viewers. And thank you so much for joining me today. Until next time, happy quilting.